we're trying to get reps in all the major centres and even the smaller centres around South Africa. So we have a map up in our office with little pins on it, and we definitely have the biggest cluster in Cape Town. When it actually comes to supporting the events and coming to the party, Joburg definitely rocks.
It's very hard to mobilise Cape Townian stoners. It's the hardest lot. There might be millions of them, but to get them off the couch is another story altogether. But
and off the beach.
And off the beach. Yeah, Joburg rocks like that, but we are 100% behind Joburg. We are full-on Joburgers. That's why we're here today.
It's very difficult to find people to help us who have their hearts in the right place. People will help us sporadically for a week here, a week there, or for an event or whatever, but to actually get permanent people to help us who are bright and interested and dedicated is quite.
The ball is actually in our court at the moment to produce another reply to the state, but we're not in a hurry to do it as per the instructions of our legal counsel. Get as many people behind you as you can, and that's why we come to the Jozi Underground, and that's why we do blog posts, and that's why we do SABC. The media is everything to us now. We have certainly had a lot of exposure, more exposure this year in mainstream media than we have in any other year. And the questions are becoming more and more relevant, perhaps. There's a lot more medical questions, and people now realising that this is not an evil plant. And even if it was, there's lots of good science to it. How comes it's only been illegal for 100 years here? It's an 800-year history in Southern Africa. It's ingrained in society. We're yet to find a black African who is dead against it as a plant, as a concept. Really, all the townships, all of the mamas, all of the Sangomas, the Inyangas, they understand it as a medicine, not necessarily smoking it recreationally. That's another whole thing. It's been going on, it's been handed down for generations. And the Rastafarians that we had at the company of last night at our home, they understand it fully for generations. They really do know. And after the 420 party in Johannesburg, we were interviewed by the Sowetan newspaper, and that's the first time the Sowetan has come up to us. And we got on the first page, on the front page, and we had the whole of page 14. The 420 party was such a success because it broke into the black African market. Because maybe sometimes they might see us a bit elitist white people. Maybe they do. Maybe they think we're not doing it for them, but we're doing this for absolutely everybody who uses this plant. We get asked, how many people do you need on the petition? And when are you going to hand the petition in? But the answer to that is, it's an open-ended petition that needs millions of signatures. What we're going to use the petition for is, it's completely inadmissible in court. The judge doesn't care about a petition. If we went in with a petition that says, look judge, there's 30,000 people want this to happen, they don't even deal with that in court. They don't even use it as any form of evidence of popularity whatsoever. But once we get out of the courts and now get towards the people who change the laws, because remember, judges don't change laws, lawyers don't change laws, politicians do. So what the point of the petition is, in 3 years' time, when we are now dealing with changing the laws themselves with policy, then in 3 years' time, maybe there's 300,000 names on that petition. And that's when we start to use it, to show policymakers that it's not political suicide to even think about legalizing the plant. Because if they actually understand that they would get more votes by saying we're going to legalize it, they don't understand that bit. They haven't got the balls to actually set a precedent in their own minds to do so. So the petition is a very important part of our strategy, but it's a very long-term project. And lots of people don't sign it because it could be a scam. Maybe it goes down to some Nigerian 404 system and now your bank account gets hacked. Very big online prejudice against putting your ID number into our petition.
It's not as if we went and plucked a petition template off of the internet and we're using that. It was built to spec and it took months to build all of that coding into it. Then when you push enter, sign the petition now, push the button, that ID number is immediately encrypted, so not even we can see what that ID number is, and then it is stored on a secure German server. Costs us nearly 500 Rand a month to keep that information secure. So it's a case of just building up people's trust to put that ID number in there. But just imagine if people could just sit for a moment and imagine if we had 100,000 signatures. Generally, the status quo is if people have a cause and they go to Parliament, they need at least 20,000 signatures to make Parliament even listen. So imagine if we just bide our time, collect signatures, we have 100,000. They've never had a petition with 100,000 signatures in Parliament, ever. Not even for gay marriage, abortion, any of those laws that have changed recently. We've got a really, really good chance if we get 100,000 signatures.
We met some of the craziest people we've ever met in our lives. The real live cannabis culture, the wake and bakers, the guys that still live with their parents and don't care about anything much and they can afford to rip 3 bongs at 7 o'clock in the morning. They're funny people. The more we do it, the more people are coming out of the closet actually. Industrialists, lawyers are helping for free. People are giving us advice, people writing columns for us. We get a lot of, you know what you should do. We got a classic one the other day of somebody telling us exactly what we should be doing. But again, there's only 24 hours in the day and we have to sleep for some of them.